This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Still Austin Straight Bourbon Whiskey. This is a new rye blend called The Musician, first in a series because music has the ability to bring us all closer together, to make us feel more free and alive, just like great whiskey. Still Austin, owned locally, distilled in Austin, 100% Texas.
Hey. Amarillo Rocks, how's everybody doing this week? Got another live one this week. We've got the infamous Kane Whitaker. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, brother.
Good
How
to
are
see
you?
you.
Good to see you. Ooh.
Cheers. We'll Still
Cheers.
Austin here.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
That's good shit.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so as you can see, we're still in the middle of finding a comfortable scene in the studio. We've got, all kinds of cool places to sit. It's just a matter of me figuring out where I'm going to put the camera. So, in light of that, we're still kind of changing things around a little bit. I know I didn't do a show last week. Sorry about that. I don't think anybody missed me.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I always
I
did.
apologize about that, man. Anyway, how you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. I'm good.
Yeah.
Just been, work and dealing with the beautiful music industry as we have it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I got offered a few deals. I've been offered a management deal. I've been offered a couple of things. So I've just been kind of getting my ducks in a row, working. I'm still at the clubs and everything like that.
Sounds like a lot of work.
It is. It's amazing. Like, you really don't think it's going to be that much work. And then when it actually happens, then you're like, oh, well, I got to readjust this. I got to work, so I got to wait for this. And, it's a money situation, too.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I would imagine the cost on something like that is exponentially large.
You'd be surprised. You're spending relatively about $1,000. Just basically trying to get everything, getting your ducks in a row. You're talking with these people. You're having Zoom meetings. You're having so much stuff going on, and then you have your real life. You know? So, real life has just been kicking my butt a little bit, but it's all right. I'm good.
Real life is what it is, man.
Oh, yeah.
Where'd it show?
I really think that, I don't think one of my exes
You got one or two of those.
I got several.
Yeah.
They're nice people, though.
The nature of the business you're in, though, man.
Well, I've been a strip club DJ for almost 30 years. I've done tons of stuff, but this is the best job I like. It gets me to be around people. I can be a good customer service. Plus, I get to play music all the time. So I dig that a lot better.
There's worse jobs.
There are worse jobs, and I've had worse jobs.
Not to mention the obvious benefits. Working nights.
Yeah, working nights. That's the biggest benefit.
You sleep in. Yeah.
You sleep in most of the time, but I think we sleep more than we do anything else now. It's because, go to sleep. It's like you get off at 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Those are the ranges for the clubs. And you get off at around that time, then you're up for 4 more hours. So next thing you know, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. You're still up. I'm playing PlayStation, just jamming the music. And then it's oh my God, it's 11 o'clock. I got to go to bed. I got to be at work at 4:30. So yeah, it's you don't really realize how much time you actually have in a day until you actually work nights.
I was a bouncer at Cassidy's a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
And I used to have a couple of my buddies. Cody Downs comes to mind.
Hi, Cody.
And we used to love to go to Cassidy's for happy hours.
Yeah.
I didn't know shit from China back. It was 20 years ago. And after I got a job at Cassidy's, and I worked there for a while, working the door, bouncing, whatever they needed me to, I found that I had absolutely zero desire to go to a strip club ever again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
You'd be surprised. It's you think that, okay, this is going to be the greatest job in the world. It really is, because, you have a lot of leeway, you have a lot of flexibility with your schedule, but the bad part is when you see that, oh man, I'm here every day.
Yeah.
Last thing you want to do is go to a strip club. You go out of town, you go to a friend's house, or you go see relatives or something like that, and you got that one good friend out of town that's hey man, let's go hit the strip club. Nah, not really. We can go shoot pool or, something else. But it's never really gotten to the point to where it was I had to worry about anything else. That's the one place that I do go if I want to go out.
Hang on a second, man. We're getting. Are you getting a signal interference there?
Yeah, it cut out for me.
Yeah, it's telling me that waiting for a live signal.
Yeah, it's popping back in.
Okay, yeah. Patchy connection. Thanks a lot, AT&T.
Yay! They've been acting weird this week, too.
Yeah. Hey, Parlo, don't stream anything back there. don't stream anything back there. I don't know what's going on with my bandwidth, but it's I'm choking out right now. Yeah, that would be the loudmouth drummer back there. God knows what he's doing in the lounge, but
we were not going to ask him. We're not going to ask. You know that couch is kind of deep in there.
It is kind of deep. Okay, fantastic couch. So what I have in my hands here is one of the only.
Look at my place.
Well, no, hang on, because the way it was rendered was via MP3.
Yeah.
And if it's like a factory radio, it might not understand MP3.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can sketch. That's the difference between Red Book and Orange Book.
Yeah.
I have to burn you one Red Book.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So we can
We'll do that. We'll do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was my second album. Our first album was called Trials Through Smoke and Mirrors. This one's called Collateral Damage Through Technicolor. Now, the reason I called it this was because, like, if you look at the back, you can see all the, damage and stuff like that. And it's got all the numbers, and it's got all the tracks, but all the numbers are on the side.
Right.
Yeah, all the numbers are on the side. All the tracks are just by themselves. Now, when you put in the actual CD, it will not be in order at all. That's the best part about it. That's why I called it Collateral Damage.
Yeah, you kind of fuck with me a little bit because it seems like the track names are the track names. Well,
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah.
The track names will show up.
Yeah.
It'll show you the track
It
names.
showed up on my Suburban, but
But it won't show exactly what number it is. It won't go like 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's very random.
without tossing this boy's salad too much, this is a fucking bad ass album.
Thank you.
Not kidding, dude. This thing hits so hard. There's such good songs on it. And this is a local guy.
And it was self-produced.
Yeah.
Me, Kryptonite, all the guys that are on this album are all locals. I think there was only maybe one person.
Is Lyric on that one?
Yeah, Lyric's on several of them.
Shout out Lyric.
He's on Villain, Biggie, Ride With Me. That's my partner. I believe in his talent so much. And I don't.
That guy's good, man.
Yes, he really is. And it's like, you just kind of pop up on the scene and it's just like, wow, you don't really know what to say after that. And, I've been in the scene for a while and I've made my name, but when you see an artist like that, like him, Ari Sky, Eli, 806, people like that.
806 awesome, yeah.
And they are true artists. They actually take the time. They want to write a good song. They want to give you something special.
Right.
And that's what I wanted to do with that.
They're pros, man. A lot of these guys are pros,
Yeah. That's why this last album hasn't came out yet. Because I really want it to be another great album. I don't want to just write an album and I'm just putting something out because it's popular.
So if you this deal that you're talking about, are you bringing these songs to, or you have to do a whole bunch of new stuff?
No, it's my newer stuff. It's the newer stuff. I've been producing a lot of my own music, so I've got like tons of tracks that I've already produced, and then there's the tracks that I've gotten produced by a little bit more famous people like Domination, Anti-Domination, Legion Beats, Saram, a lot of other people, and those are the professional beats that I wanted, but I also wanted to give a flair of letting people know what else I can do besides that. So this album is very special, and the song with Corrupt. I got a song with Planet Asia. I have myself. I'm really trying to find, a couple of other. I'm talking to a couple of other local artists, trying to get them to do a track.
You know who I'd love to see put something out? Is Crystal.
Yes. Dynasty.
Dynasty
is actually on this
Crystal,
album.
you watching this? You need to get some stuff out.
I love you, baby.
Badass.
I love you.
And Lyric, if you're watching this, Lyric, I need to get you on the podcast, man. We've talked about this, last winter, but I want to get you guys on.
He's like one of the hardest working people I know.
Yeah.
He busts his ass, and that's why I love him. Because like he's my brother, regardless. And I'm not blowing smoke up nobody's ass. He's a really professional artist.
Yeah.
And like when we get in the studio, like Villain's a perfect example. Villain was 5 minutes. I had already wrote it. I wasn't sure if I really wanted to do the track. I wasn't sure about it. He was like, no, I love that beat. That rock beat is something different. Okay, cool, let's do it. I got over there, I recorded it. It came out great. Derek said, oh, okay, he had something to do. He had his kid. He had a lot of things to do. He goes, I'll have it for you in the morning. Sure enough, that next morning, he sent it on the email. Chris sent it to me through the email. And, man, every time I hear that song, or I Just Want Money, that's another track.
That's probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
There, yeah.
And so that one, it was so intense, and it's great, and we want to do a video for it. We want to do videos for all of our songs, but we're still trying to get timing right.
That shit's pretty expensive.
Well, my first video was not expensive at all. I did my first video.
Really?
I produced it. I directed it. I literally put a shout out to everybody to come and join the video. Nobody showed up. Okay, so we're at the studio. I'm sitting there at the studio. I'm like, okay, how am I going to pull this off? I've got everybody here from this time to this time. And my two managers for my job, one was like, hey, I'll be your cameraman if you need me to. I was like, okay. About 15 minutes, I'm trying to figure out what I was going to do. Figured it out. The song Gone, which will be on the next album, it's got a video. It's the only video I've ever done. I did it strictly one frame camera, just walking with me.
Yeah.
And it came out great. There's things that you can do. I mean, like, we tend to stifle ourselves about money when actually only thing you really need to do is have a little bit of imagination and a little bit of time.
Oh, bro.
And if you can figure it out, you'll figure it out. Like, I wanted to do Villain, and I did do it up there at Leftwoods, but then I lost that card because I was in the process of moving and stuff. So I lost the card for that. So I couldn't even put that video out. Yeah, so I was like, crap, I can't do it. But the next album, this next album is really, really something special. I've got Peach Hill, I've got Mr. Clean on it. I don't know why I said Mr. Clean. Clean Peach Hill. I love y'all guys. And I made the beat, and it's your favorite song that you like right now is Bang on the Drum.
Bang on the Drum, dude.
Yeah. So
I wish I could play this shit on Facebook. Facebook will shut this feed down. Those motherfuckers are ridiculous.
Well, right. And I don't understand that. How are you going to shut down? I'm on it. It's my song.
I know, but it's so everything's automated on there.
Yes.
And so all they do, the only thing they give a shit about, what they want people to use them live for is doing exciting stuff on the street or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
but if you do like a production like this, then they take that audio signature because they don't want to get sued. They don't want to get if it's ASCAP or BMI, whatever you're using through that stuff. They go after Facebook for that stuff, and that's why Facebook shuts the feed down.
Oh yeah. And then the bad part about it is like if you're a new artist, you can't really get good exposure.
Right.
I've noticed, how you can do the stories and you can add music to it. Mm-hmm. Since I'm on Spotify, people can add my songs to it. Right. So I've been adding my own songs to my stories, and I've gotten a lot of feedback from it, and it's great. And I love everybody. Thank y'all. I got to say this from the bottom of my heart. Amarillo, I love y'all. Thank y'all very much. I would not be the guy I am today if it wasn't for the people that supported me, like you and Leftwoods and Zeus and the people that really honestly believed in my talent. I think I would probably be in jail or dead. Honestly, because I was headed on that path. I just wasn't happy about it. That's my bad part. I don't think anybody's happy about going to jail.
Leftwoods has been kind of they've been a big supporter of everybody, man. Yeah. Leftwoods and Golden Light.
Yes,
those two guys are. I don't know, man. Those are to me, they're the staples. They're like the hub of the scene here. You know what I mean? And zombies.
Yes. The way I look at it, if you're any kind of artist, local, famous, whatever, those three places are the places that you have to do. You have to go to Leftwoods. You have to go to Zombies. Zombies is one of the great staples. When it was EBGBs, it was one of the great staples. It's still one of the great places to perform here. It's just, you know how the vibe is most of the time, but you give 110%, like your band, Native Crowds. There's so many great artists in this town alone that we shouldn't have a worry about, what the music scene's about. We should promote it a little bit more. Smokey Joe's, perfect place to do live music.
Smokey Joe's has music 7 days a week.
Yes, it does. And I love just passing down 6th Street
and they're usually loud as hell, man. So
and you hear something different every time. It's never the same sound. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say Smokey B. I hadn't seen Smokey B in a while.
I hadn't seen him either. I saw Germs actually works with me now.
Does he really?
Yeah, he works with me. So
Smokey B. If you watch this, get a hold of me.
Hi, Smoke.
Hey, we got to take a quick break. We're going to hear from one of our sponsors. We'll be right back.
All right.
This week's broadcast is brought to you by Lit Arcade Bar.
You forgot the other one.
God dang it.
You forgot the other one?
I forgot Lit Arcade Bar. Still Austin Whiskey, which we had a while ago.
Which is good.
Drunken Oyster and Crush Wine Bar downtown.
Why we don't hit the whiskey.
Yeah, that's maybe take those shots at the end of the show.
We should take it at the end of the show. But it's usually how we start. That's how we started our last show, too.
Shout out to Remy DeLaura. He's running the camera for me tonight. Go check out Native Crowds on Spotify and iTunes and YouTube and, at a local venue near you.
I gotta say this. Dude, this is probably the best punk rock band I've heard in a long freaking time. And I mean, like, a long freaking time. And I like punk rock.
I saw this motherfucker. He got up. Who was that? What band was that was he jumped up on stage with?
On Holiday.
On Holiday.
Yeah.
He jumped up with On Holiday as a front man. They played the song, and he just knew the song.
Yeah.
And, I've never seen him without a guitar,
really
fucking power stance, the whole 9 yards, fucking ripping the mic.
That night that we did the homeless show, I didn't even know the cat yet. I hadn't even really met him. I just saw the porn mustache, and he was on there, and I was like, dude, this is either going to be really, really good or really, really cheesy. It's one of the two. And it was really, really great, because then I'm sitting over here like, yeah, hey, let me get an album. What y'all got an album out? No, not yet, man. We're working on everything. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And see, that's what I mean. There's bands that literally give me chills.
Man, we got
chills.
We got some bad motherfuckers
Yes,
in town,
Yes, and for us to just be so, I'm gonna go watch. Nothing against Cole. I love you, Cole Wexel. He's a hometown boy, and he shows up at the bars all the time. He never asks to hear his music. He never asked me to play his music. He's like, hey, Kane, hey, bud, how you doing? He's such a natural person that's what a lot of us are. We're just very natural people. Like, you still do sound. We're doing stuff like this, and that's what I mean. And everybody looks at it, oh my God, you're famous. No, bro. I'm not, brother. I'm good. I'm just Kane. That's all I'm gonna be. So yeah, so I love this town, and I love the people in it. True enough, I want to escape every once in a while, but if it wasn't for the sound, I wouldn't be shit.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. If it wasn't for the people that support me, I wouldn't be shit.
I think I have you listed as Sugar Cane with it.
You really do. That's Sugar Cane. And that's even, because we were going to talk about my name.
Well, let's talk about that, because so this is a tough subject for me, because I've had his music on the show a bunch. I'm like, keep it on, and I'm not going to do it, man. I can't. I'm not.
I will give you the actual reasoning behind it. Okay, so I'm 18 years old. I'm going to Paladori. I have great friends. We're starting our rap thing. So we're over at our friend's house, and I used to be Kane Lokester. That's what they wanted to call me, Kane Lokester. But Kane came about from my friend TJ. We're walking to Brahms, going to lunch, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, and I had it on the back of my jacket, was Kane.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I got a name for you. I was like, I already got a name, it's Kane. Yeah, but you should put dots in between it. I was like, why? He goes, because you're keeping all ninjas energized. What? You keeping all niggas energized? I was like, what do you mean? And this was his reasoning. He goes, you're the only fat dude. Literally, this is exactly verbatim. You're the only fat dude that I know that if he walks by a female, she can't help but damn near throw her panties at you. Why? He goes, man, you're tall, you got long hair. These girls just think you're the shit. You're heavy.
Long hair?
I had long hair.
No shit.
Yes, I had hair down to my shoulders, man. I cut that. I got divorced and I cut it all off.
Bro.
Like, yeah. No.
I used to have super long shit too. And,
And it's like that one bad day is when I cut it off.
And then now it doesn't fucking grow back, right?
Right.
You know? It's like,
but I transitioned. I didn't really use Kane as a rap name for a long time. I was actually the infamous Darky Black. And the reasoning is because I wanted people to understand that I am more than my color.
right.
I wanted people to understand that I'm more than my race. I am a entity, per se. I was making fun of the fact that most of these guys come up with these rap names, and now they're even worse. And you're coming out with these names that don't mean anything. At least with mine, you can honestly say I'm an ideal. I'm literally the Joker.
Right.
I'm the Joker of hip hop right now, because I would rather give you an ideal and a way to change your perception of things than have you being just like everybody else. Why be like everybody else if you can be something different? So you see it, you hear it in my music, you hear it in the beats that I make, you hear it in the songs that I make. I actually give a lot of, respect to hip hop. It's really about hip hop that it is forever going to be changing. It's forever going to be able to be eclectic and grow.
Where do you think hip hop got started?
Honestly?
Yeah. A lot of people think it's the Sugar Hill Gang and all that other shit, but
It did start in the Bronx. It started at parties.
yeah.
Wild Style really kind of emulated the actual beginning of hip hop. If you've ever seen the movie Wild Style, if you haven't, you need to. If you haven't seen that and you haven't seen Crush Groove
Crush Groove was awesome. I saw that shit when I was a kid.
right?
Yeah.
But Crush Groove now would be considered the commercialized version of hip hop,
I see.
as compared to Wild Style, which was the raw essence of the actual culture, which was b-boying, the MC, the DJ, the actual graph artists. You had to really understand what hip hop was to actually be able to describe it as that. Because I don't want to say that I'm a hip hop artist because I don't practice that culture. If I practice hip hop culture, yes, because I'm all about breaking. I'm all about the actual pure essence of hip hop. It ain't about no chains. It's not about bling bling. It's not about bad bitches in 40s. That ended up being a part of the culture.
A type of a segment.
A segment of the
yeah,
culture. Yeah. So, but rap and hip hop are totally two different things. I do not rap. I'm a hip hop artist.
I can dig that. Yeah.
Because I feel like it like this. If anybody can rap, you can match words together and make it sound good.
Sure.
But are you telling a story? Is there an actual essence to it?
Yeah, it's the same thing with metal.
Yes.
Metal. You have metal that has a backbeat, or you have metal that's got like a blast beat. Mm-hmm. And there's some of it they'll like in some rap they speak just for the sake of speaking. There's not really
an actual thing there.
And same thing with like blast beats and stuff like that. A lot of that blast beat metal, it feels kind of feckless to me. It feels kind of pointless.
Yes.
I mean, it's an impressive display of some
of your
sort
talent,
of some sort of
if you actually have a talent, that's great. But just to know they're rapping to a beat, or just putting words together with a beat, and not really having a real essence to it, it doesn't. Joyner Lucas, okay, that's a perfect example right now. And that's Lyric's favorite artist. That's one of my favorite artists. Joyner Lucas is literally telling you the strains, the procrastination, the anger, of his life. You know, like he deals with ADHD. He deals with these issues. He's talking about real issues. He's not just spitting out something. Now, sure enough, you got the ones like, you know, he does have one like Zim Zima, which is just talk. It's a fun song though, but it's also a very realistic song because most of the hip hop artists look at rappers as punks, not punk rock.
Oh shit!
Yeah, because it's like, dude, y'all would rather pull a gun and sit over there and be waving your gun, and you got a mask on. We're the guys that are like, dude, I don't wear no mask. I'll be sitting right here in a suit. We can fight, we can tussle, we can do whatever you want to do. But we still have that same respect for the growth in it. There's growth in it. And if you're not going to be able to grow and you're just seeing it from one side, or you have to prove something to somebody else, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Who do you think, who is your, okay, two questions here.
Okay.
Who is, in your opinion, the greatest rapper of all time, or hip-hop artist?
Okay.
And that this may not be the same person, and who is your favorite?
Favorite right now?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's tough. Greatest rapper of all time, or greatest MC of all time, rather.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be tough.
Who do you think's got that game?
You mean currently, or posthumously?
Well, I mean, no.
I mean, some of them are posthumous. Honestly, right now, the person that I would listen to, regardless of anything, living or dead, Scarface.
Okay.
Scarface, just because of his storytelling.
Okay.
He has great beats. And for him to be his age right now, he's on his last tour this year.
He's still alive?
Yes.
Okay.
The only one that died was Bushwick Bill.
Okay.
Bushwick died a couple of years
ago. I remember Bushwick Bill.
Yeah. So my thing is, it's like, that is who I emulate. That's the level of MC that I want to be. Right. That is my top tier. Regardless of Ice Cube. I mean, everybody, Ice Cube, Lil Wayne, Biggie, Tupac. Very rare do you hear somebody mention Scarface.
Right.
Scarface.
I don't even know who the guy is.
Scarface was one of the original members of the Ghetto Boys. My mom's playing tricks on.
Okay.
And after they broke up, he skyrocketed.
Yeah.
He did My Homies, the dual album, and he had just songs on there that were iconic. That's the only way I can describe that album. Is My Homies was very iconic because I had the album and I bumped it that whole summer. He had songs with Pac, and Pac had just died. You're dealing with East Coast, West Coast beef. He had East Coast, West Coast rappers, Houston rappers.
Yeah.
People learned who Devin the Dude was. Like, and really right now, the person that I am most, like, I can't get enough, Joyner Lucas. I can't get enough of Joyner Lucas, and I can't get enough of another MC, and I unfortunately, it kind of skips my mind right now. I'm really thinking about it. Roscoe Dash is because he's a producer and he's the MC. True enough, I don't like the whole booty, shaking songs all the time, but he has hype music. He makes you.
They're fun for the song.
Yeah, they make you really want to kind of invest in it.
Yeah.
And I've also become a really, really big fan, and this is probably gonna really shock everybody. The artist that I feel is the next biggest thing, his name is G Yakazama.
Okay.
He came out with a song called North Cac about relatively 7 years ago. I'd never heard the cat until I saw the video on YouTube, and I was just going, you know how YouTube just starts a mix.
Yeah.
And he came up, and I was listening to the beat, and he's got a Jewish guy on there, and he's got an Iranian guy on there, and he's Asian.
Yo.
But he does, man, he sounds phenomenal. And then I started looking at more of his songs. He has some great music. And he's talking about the adaptation of coming from, Osaka, Japan, and his parents coming here and establishing something in North Carolina. He lives in North Carolina.
Okay.
His parents established their family in North Carolina. Of all the places to start an Asian American family, you start in North Carolina.
there's some Asian guys out there that blow my mind with how much they'll grab American culture.
Yes.
And there's a Japanese metal band called Ninjinitsu.
Yes.
And it's like samurai metal, man.
Yes, it's a badass.
And I look at all the translations of the words, and the words are like, it's right here, man.
Yeah, because it's heartful poetry.
Yeah.
And with Yakuza,
but it's they're taking the game for. They're not taking the game for.
They're not taking it. They're not taking it for granted. They're actually like, hey, man, this is the one place where they say that you can make anything happen.
Yeah, man.
So why aren't you trying to make it happen? Everybody gives us. I mean, and really, honestly, and I'm even subjective to it myself. I have been one of those people that I will procrastinate. I get involved in my real life and totally forget that this is what I'm living for. Yeah. I'm living for my music. And when I see these guys that are just coming out and they're just like raw and they're loving it, that's what I appreciate about music. It's even better because then you're hearing something different. Like you said, it's samurai metal.
Yeah.
It literally is samurai metal.
Exactly.
G. Yakuza he has such a delivery and a flow, but he's also talking about real things. And then he's also done remixes of other people's songs. Like his Chun-Li versus Nicki Minaj's Chun-Li. Nicki shouldn't even done that song. He should have done that song. Shit. Yes, because that shit was awesome. I was like, oh my God, this dude.
Blow your mind, man. There's so many. Well, what's his name? Ryan Adams. Redid a Taylor Swift album. And Ryan Adams' version of Taylor Swift's album is
phenomenal.
Acres above hers. Sorry, Tay-Tay. No, you're not watching, but hey.
But at the same time, when you really actually honestly listen to that from Rick, and you're like, why doesn't Taylor Swift's song have that much emotion and depth?
Why is somebody else seeing more energy and love and power?
It's somebody else doing your song than you. And then it was like, my honest favorite right now is Morgan Wallen. Wasted on You is such a crossover song that you can play it. You can literally play it on urban radio. You can play it on alternative rock. And it's a country song. But it is something that you feel rather than something that you hear.
Right.
You could turn on your radio right now. I guarantee you there's a Drake song, there's a Lil Baby song, there's some kind of song by somebody that is annoying the fuck out of you right now. But the thing about it is the potential of it. I don't like Moneybagg Yo, but I guarantee you if I hear this certain song, it'll affect me emotionally.
Man, you know who got me recently? Was this cat named MF Doom.
Yes.
Holy shit, that guy is intense, man. You have a mask and everything.
But this is the bad part. You're just now getting to do it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm late to the game. My buddy Henry turned me on to him, and Henry's another old crust punk white guy like myself.
But that's like 30 years in the making. Like Doom's been out for a while. And if you weren't watching Adult Swim every night and listening to Doom's beats or listening to a Doom song, then you just weren't cool.
See, man,
you're cool. Yeah. You're cool. You're awesome.
I get it, but man, I'm just late to the game. But now that I'm here, I'm like, well, fuck, I want to talk about it. Yeah.
Well, that's like my homeboy Melly. The one that I think it's YM. It's Yellow City Mob Melly. Now, this kid, he's been coming to my clubs a couple of times, and I really didn't know that he did music like that. He played me a song. It's called, I think it's 772 Love. And man, we need to talk. Because he's really in a direction. He's a couple of people are trying to sign him also. And I gave him the best advice I could.
Local guy, huh?
Yes. Okay. And he's magnificent. He's really good. He's a really good artist. And as a matter of fact, I think he had a show last week or the week before last at Zombies, or it's coming up, one of the two. Okay. But he's really a great artist. Reggae Rapids and I met a lot of people while I was in Iowa. Reggae Rapids, great band, and it's a black frontman. It's really a reggae band, but they also mix in punk rock. They mix in electronic. They mix in so many different sounds, and they sound so freaking wonderful. I love you, Tariq. Thank you, brother. I love you.
Dude, the modern music is starting to become an amalgamation.
Yes, it really
thing,
has,
you know?
and it's really a blessing. I really think it is a blessing because that way, my grandkids don't have to sit up there and I want them to dig through crates though.
Yeah.
I want them to be able to go like, hey, who's the Clash? Hey, who is John Cougar Mellencamp? Hey, Charlie Pride. There's a such thing as a black country singer.
Oh man,
you know, like, but that's what I mean. Most of the kids nowadays, I mean, literally, you could walk down the street and go talk to a regular kid right now and ask them any artist that we personally listen to, they probably wouldn't know who it was, or probably have never even heard of them.
you know,
never
those
listened
guys,
to them.
they probably think like Lil Nas X is like the first
Yeah.
black country musician.
No.
Fuck no, man. That shit's been around for a long time.
You had Charlie
know?
Pride, you had Ray Charles, you had so many.
Cowboy Troy.
Cowboy Troy was the first real country rapper, and now the trap country has become like the thing.
That's a new. I haven't heard of that one.
That's what I call it. I call it trap country because you know, like even my friend Bez, like we were talking about the other day, my friend Bez Believe has kind of switched over to trap country because it's more of his preference.
Yeah,
you know, like if you can create something totally different. Look at Ziggy Stardust. He switched up pretty much every album. You know, like from It Smells Like Children to Born Villain. Born Villain is a totally different. It's still the same sound, but it's a different essence of Maryland.
you know that poor fucker. I can't say poor fucker. I mean,
He's far from poor.
He's kind of. Well, I mean, but you know what I mean.
Dr. Dre made sure of that.
He's kind of a piece of shit, though. I'm talking about Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You know,
saying.
and like, but the path that he carved through, he broke through so many bounds with like
Demonism, sexualism. There's a lot of things.
the PMRC. You know, he
Yes.
He made a weapon out of their bullshit. You know what I mean?
He turned it right around.
Yeah.
And that was the beautiful part because Antichrist Superstar was that pinnacle for him. When he got on MTV and did that whole concert, that was his pinnacle because he wasn't afraid to go out there, oh, he's gay and blah, 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 blah. You know how much stuff people said about him after that. But it wasn't that. He was really trying to make a political statement to other people that you got to accept other things. Mechanical Animals was probably his best album, produced by Dr. Dre.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I like the drugs, but the drugs like me.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Dre. There's a lot of songs on there that was produced by Dr. Dre that a lot of people didn't know.
Yeah.
But that pushed him farther because now you're touching on so many different topics, you know, between drug addiction, sexuality, hate crimes, things like that. If you actually listen to the album, number 6, Speed of Pain, is literally my favorite song. Just because it really describes most people's, affliction with depression. You know, like you don't really realize some days, and I know there's a lot more artists or a lot more musical artists that deal with depression than anything else. Not the drugs, not the alcohol, not anything else. Depression, because they can't get the sound that they're hearing in their head all the damn time. And everybody keeps on telling them that they're never going to be anything. So you write a song like that.
Yeah.
And when you write that song, you can't help but get passionate about it. You can't help but say something about it. On my first album, I talked about a lot of things. And I touched on a lot of issues like the Trayvon Martin. I talked about depression. I talked about getting cheated on. I talked about a lot of things. This album was really just kind of fun.
Yeah.
This next album is really, I'm just letting you know who I am. You know, just because I'm a fun guy. I don't take everything seriously.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
You know, that's and we weren't even wearing makeup. That's all photoshopped.
Word.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Get any posters later on?
Yeah.
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 Any you want to part with?
The only one I got is my homeless one.
If you can bring it to me, I can scan it and just like replicate. So I'm trying not to just put Loudmouth Lisa posters in here. There's all kinds of other shit in here.
He's trying to help. Yeah.
But
trying to be eclectic.
Yeah, well, you know.
Well,
Right,
you know,
right.
and the bad part is I never saved any. Well,
Right,
you know,
right.
and the bad part is I never saved any of my posters.
No.
I signed a lot of them, but I never
Just
really
signed a
saved
few.
them. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I've got digital copies of them. I wanted to make like a coffee table book,
Oh yeah.
like render it down. I didn't want to
Like,
make
yeah.
a little.
Just
I don't know,
some-
11 by 17 book would be kind of good, but I don't know, it'd be kind of cool.
But that's
I
kind
would-
of big, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of
like-
big.
Yeah.
But I would like to make a book, like a small book of nothing but local show posters. You know,
That'd be
like a fucking big, like volume 1.
The music history of
Yeah.
Amarillo or
Yeah,
Bomb
you know.
City.
And
Or
I
the
think-
beginning of Bomb City.
I think that would be kind of cool. You know.
Yeah. It is. I totally buy that.
Well,
Just because it's like it's not really just showcasing one particular music genre, it's showcasing the talent of Amarillo.
well, you know, we strive here to try and get different genres on the show. You know, I mean, I've had people. Jake told me it was a fucking boys' club. I'm like, man, I mean, I'm trying to get more female artists on the show too. You know.
You know what? I'll get Crystal for you.
Yeah, get Crystal on.
I'll get Crystal
I'll
for
talk to Crystal. Well, we had a few on. you
Actually,
know.
she's gonna be on. She's on my next album.
Oh, she really?
Yeah, we did a song called "Villain Therapy." It's basically about going. It's about going to therapy.
Oh, okay.
But it's the villain's version of going to therapy. You know, like if you really think about it, they always want to make you like rehab shit.
Right.
Like, oh, you fucked up. Guess what? You got to go rehab. What the fuck is that going to do for me? I get to talk to a whole bunch of people that are either worse or worser than me. And then when you do talk to those people, you hear such a great story, and it's like, damn, I wish I should have done that when I was fucked up. It's like, yeah, I was out there and I got me a cow, and we went out into a pasture and blew up some stuff. We kidnapped the mayor's daughter. You did what? We kidnapped the mayor's daughter. That's what you're supposed to do. Yeah. So I did it from a villain's point of view, and I really want her to finish her part because I want her to, because she can rap too.
Yeah.
And I want her to be the female version of a villain. On my part, it's like, you know, slapping people with used tampons, buying bombs with using nothing but coupons.
Yeah.
You know, like, so if I was to actually, since that's the name I embrace the most, I feel like if I had done that, if I had to do that, what would I do as a villain? What would I be as a supervillain? Oh yeah, I'd totally try to fuck up Superman, you know, give Batman a wedgie, you know, like stuff like that.
Yeah, but some person's villain might be another person's hero.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah, and really, and if you really read stories,
Yeah.
like we read,
Yeah.
we're readers. We still like print. So, if you actually really read it, most villains are actually the hero because they're not only the motivator, they're also the instigator. They're like
The antagonist.
they're pointing at you like, dude, why aren't you doing something about this? Why aren't you doing something? I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
You know, one of the ultimate hero-villain stories is the actual story of Lucifer.
Yes.
So there's a lot of there's a school of thought that Lucifer was actually
The first Superman.
railing out against an oppressive, angry, jealous, narcissistic God, and he wasn't necessarily trying to grab power for him so much as he was trying to.
Gather understanding.
Yeah,
Like, why are you this way? Why are you letting these people that you have put on such a pedestal? Like, that was the biggest thing. Lucifer was upset because God had put mankind above them.
Yeah,
Because it's like, hey, we go do your errands, we do this, we do that. Why are you putting them on this pedestal and then you just slaughter them all? It's just something fun for you to do. Is that's what's going to happen to us next? I totally get it. And then when you explain it to people, they're like, are you a Satanist? No, it's a great freaking story, man. If you really hear the story about
I'm
it.
an adult. I don't believe any of that bullshit. It's just a good story. You know?
Right. And then when you actually tell it to them, and they really have to kind of look at it, but you look at it, and I'm not anti-Semitic. I am not a devil worshiper. I believe the universe has a purpose. But for us not to honestly believe that there's a higher power than us, there's something stupid with it.
Surely.
We're on one planet. We're the only people in the whole universe. That's dumb. That's really stupid. And then we have these allegories that we talk about, like Lucifer, and teaching us about narcissism and teaching us about placism and things that we don't need in our lives. And for us to sit up there and just like, oh, so you just basically became the same thing that we're trying not to be. So, yeah. But Lucifer, I don't really ever look at any villain as a villain, as a bad guy. But they're the most interesting things to watch.
Most villains don't do shit just for the sake of being evil. There's a few of them out there, obviously, that do it for the purpose of being evil. Otherwise, they just have their own agenda. They have something they're trying to promote. They're trying to improve their life. There's a few of them that are greedy out there. Yeah. I don't know, man.
I look at it like Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Lex Luthor is really just kind of motivation for Superman. The way I look at it, if there was no Lex or there was none of them, what do you have to do? What, you gonna go write another puff piece about yourself, or there's that, and then by him attaining that level of villainy, he ended up being a president. But it's also really describing those things. Also, it's saying that like our president, freaking Trump was definitely Lex Luthor-ish, because now look at us, we got $5 for a gallon of gas.
Well, I saw a post on Facebook today where someone was saying, "Oh, you guys didn't vote for the last guy because blah blah blah. Now things are a bigger mess with this guy." Yeah, this guy kind of inherited a flaming car wreck.
Yeah, it's basically you just gave me a bag of duty.
Yeah,
and said, "Hey, I'm going to set it on fire and I'm going to put it in your hand."
Yeah,
here you go.
Make a sandwich. Make a sandwich out of this.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was the most amazing shit sandwich ever. No, it's not. It's really not.
I've learned to steer away from the topic most of the time, and I was pretty well known for being an antagonist against that. And, the truth is that I don't know enough about the inner workings to really have one opinion or another, other than what I see. And what I'm finding out is that what I see most of the time is wrong.
Yeah, you're seeing the smoke and mirrors of it. It's magic trick.
Yeah,
they're trying to make you look left when you really need to be looking right.
Yeah.
And then when people ask me like, why don't you vote? That's the reason I don't vote, because I understand the bigger ideal of it. Every summer they'll either jack up the gas price or they're going to lower the gas price. Gas price is going to go back down by December. Happens every year because everybody wants to go back and forth to their families and everything like that. Planes cannot, basically Southwest Airlines can't afford to keep putting gas in their airplanes if people can't afford to get on their airplane, right? Same process. We can't afford to live.
Yeah, supply and demand.
Yeah, supply and demand. Simple and plain.
I don't know, man.
The world is crazy.
There's places in California right now. I saw in the news yesterday where there's where premium is it's almost $10.
$10.35.
That's kind of the threshold for me. It's like when gas hits $10 a fucking gallon,
I'll walk.
I'm gonna walk now. I got an electric bicycle and a Volkswagen Bug just to fight that.
Just for that.
But even at that, I think at that point, it's time to go ahead and get the leather chaps. Go ahead and shave a mohawk.
Yep.
Get the war paint on and get you a shotgun and motorcycle.
And call it
because it's Mad Max time.
Yeah, it's about to get to that point.
We're gonna go wrangle a truck full of guzzle.
But how do you think I feel? I drive a Lexus.
Yeah.
So the only thing I can put in there is premium. So I'm paying $5.09 for gas. Yeah, this guy. And that's even worse. I went to put $10 worth of gas last night. I got a gallon 9. I think it was like a gallon 935. And I'm like, seriously, I can't even get 2 gallons of gas for $10.
Yeah.
When back in the day when we were growing up, it was 99 cents, man. You can scrounge that out of your freaking car. You got $5 and you got half a tank.
I remember losing my shit because gas was $1.07. I'm like,
oh my God, yeah.
What's going on here?
No, the day I lost mine. The day I lost mine was when cigarettes got taxed 50 cents. Because I could go back. Oh God, I can't believe I'm about to address my age.
We're in for a penny, in for a penny.
I could get a pack of Newports for $2.50 back in the day. Now this shit is like almost. I know in New York, my ex-girlfriend, we still talk, and she lives up in Pavilion. And she was telling me, she was like, your cigarettes are like almost $20 up here.
Yeah.
I was like, you gotta be kidding me. She was like, no, it is $17.50 for a pack of Newports. If you go on the res, that's when you can get it for 10. I was like, so I'm blessed to stay down here in the South as long as possible. Because if I go over there to California with my car, I literally have a bill just between my cigarettes and my car over $60.
For as much as I bitch about stuff in Amarillo, though, like it is pretty cheap here.
Yeah, it's a good life. You could have a good, decent life.
It's a little cheap. There's Brahms next door. I mean, I can, we
go get ice cream anytime. Burgers. You got Sonic.
Yeah.
I
remember there was my buddy Wilson.
The cheerleaders over there at Tascosa. No, now see, that's even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then there's that, and then you got your kids, and then you've got, there's so many different things. And I didn't mean it in that perspective of, noodling over the cheerleaders. I mean it like your kids are in sports, they're in stuff. That's extra money.
Oh, shit.
Then you're working like a 45, 50-hour week. Then you got to go to the gas station and go put in like $90 to fill your gas tank. How do you expect a person to live? And like you said, it's going to end up being the Mad Max thing where we're just like, no.
It costs $143 to fill up the Suburban.
Wow.
Brutal.
Mine was $75.
Yeah.
To fill up the legs. So I was just like, I can't do that. That's $75 I could put towards a pair of shoes.
So you see your boy Loudmouth out on a bicycle. It's probably an electric bike or a Volkswagen Bug.
If you see me on a scooter,
yeah,
y'all know it's real.
Yeah, see me on foot, mind your business.
And my transmission's going out, so it's even worse. It's like, well, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be on a scooter here pretty soon. So yeah. But it's also too hot for me. I can't deal with it. It's a little much.
So what's next on the list? So you got this album. What's the next album? What's the timeline we're looking at?
We're looking at probably. I had told Landon August last year, and then I got sick, and things just went kind of sour. So I'm striving for August again. I was striving for my birthday this year, but literally we opened up another bar, so it's like
I saw that. Yeah,
we got a lot going on. So I'm going for August just because I think I'll be able to finish up the songs. The song with Corrupto, I'm going to probably release this month. The other songs, I'm just trying to find a good place to record and a decent producer that'll actually give me the sound that I'm looking for. So it's self-titled. It'll be Kane, just Kane on it, and everything on there is either produced by me or it's something that influenced me greatly. Razkaz was one of those artists that I grew up with that I really loved. Corrupt is one of those artists that I really love. Planet Asia, I love just the mental capacity of certain things. I was actually going to do one with Tech Nine, and I'm thinking about doing one with Chris. So I'm trying to get those things set up correctly, so that way I can give you the best album ever.
Well, don't forget your homies down here in the hometown.
I haven't. I never will. Just because, for the simple fact, I think that's what's really been stifling me on a decision, is because I'm one of the local boys that actually made it good. Because I never thought it'd happen. I really was like, from the first time that I picked up a mic and recorded my first song, I never really looked at myself as a great hip-hop artist. I never looked at myself as an artist. I looked at it as like, hey, man, it's something to do. I'm not at the house. I'm kicking it with my homeboys, blah, 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 blah. So now it's gotten to the point to where, people thank me for my songs, and that's awkward. Because I never thought that anybody would ever thank me for one of my songs.
I've gotten that.
Especially Let Me Touch It. Let Me Touch It is totally a very super misogynistic song. But it's actually really just kind of like, I'm also giving props to the ladies. Bang on the Drum is hip hop at its core. The boom bap beat. We're talking about 4 tracks. We're talking about originating.
Go back to the lab.
Back to the super lab type of stuff. So it's like everything that you'll hear on this next album is literally, like the influence of music in my life. Collateral Damage was the calamity of thinking that, everything's going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. As you saw, you put in the album, it's not even playing the right order of songs. It's like, wait, that's supposed to be number 4, and it's playing number 1. I don't get it. And I literally I got hell for it because I only did like 30 copies. There's 30 copies running around in Amarillo right now. 30 copies of this album. The only thing is when you put it in, people literally were talking to me like, what the fuck, Kane? I was like, what you mean? Like, bro, it says that this is Fat Girls is playing and it's supposed to be number like 4 or 9 and it's playing like the first song.
It's almost like it's on shuffle.
Yeah. And that was the whole thing. It was like, because nothing's perfect in your life. Nothing, regardless of how you want to perceive anything or how you think that, oh, you know what? If I pray every day and I go to church and I do this and I do that, everything's going to go all right. It's not going to go right. We plan, God laughs. That's what I really should have named it.
Right there is a killer fucking closer. We plan, God laughs. You know what? Look for Kane on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. This is called Collateral Damage through Technicolor. You can't get a physical copy unless
if you want one, just let me know.
Yeah, get a hold of Kane on Facebook, or Instagram too, all that stuff.
Instagram, I'm
Brazzers, Grindr, all that stuff. He's on all that stuff.
I don't know if I'm on Brazzers yet. I might be.
But
that is kind of funny that you mentioned that. I did this years ago as a joke. I think I was really drunk. I'm literally a porn star. I'm like a official porn star. I didn't
talk about that offline.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, if you want a copy, man, get in touch with Loudmouth, Mr. Tooley, and I'll get you one. It's a really
killer fucking album.
It's a real good album.
Fun to listen to. Sounds awesome, especially if you got a decent system in your car.
Oh yeah,
my shit bumps pretty good.
Oh
so, yeah,
it'll bump.
So yeah,
but
all right. Well, thanks, Remy, for running the shit.
Remy!
Thank you, Kane, for being on the show.
Cheers.
Emily Rocks. Y'all stay tuned. We got a lot of new stuff. Thanks to Lit Arcade Bar, Savor, Drunken Oyster, Crush Wine Bar, and Still Austin Whiskey for the sponsorship.
Can I say some thank yous?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dollhouse. Thank you, Bomb City Cabaret. Thank you, KB's Playhouse. Thank you, all the girls that I work with. Thank you for everybody. Left Woods, Zombies, Tees. I love you guys. Rumors, House Bar. I love all the people that support us and support Julie and myself. I really thank y'all. Thank you.
All right. Remember what we say. Wipe front to back, clear your browser history, and go see some live music.
Water's wet. Mickey Mouse is a big ass rat. And surf's up, dude.